Welcome back to Funimation 3D. Kids and Family Cartoon, the magical place where learning becomes an adventure. Today's journey will take us into a world full of glowing light, dancing sparkles, mysterious shadows, and magical science surprises. So get ready, young explorers, because we're about to discover the amazing world of light and shadows. Our story begins in a whimsical little town called Glowville, a place where everything shines with soft, golden light. The houses have glowing windows, the trees sparkle with tiny twinkling fruit, and even the street lamps hum gently with warm yellow brightness. The streets are lined with shimmering cobblestones that reflect colors like a rainbow. It looks like a storybook world painted with magic. In the center of Glowville lives Lumi, our cheerful little hero. Lumi is a glowing ball of light, round and cute, with tiny hands, big sparkly eyes, and a gentle, warm glow all around him. Lumi loves lighting up Glowville so everyone can see and play safely. But Lumi has one big dream. He wants to understand how shadows are made, because every time he shines, a shadow seems to follow him around. One bright morning, Lumi decides it's time to go on a real adventure. He floats out of his cozy lamp-shaped house, humming happily. The sun rises above Glowville, spreading soft golden rays across the sky. Lumi spins excitedly. This is the perfect day to learn about shadows. Hey, he says in his cute, gentle voice. As Lumi travels through Glowville, he sees his shadow stretching along the ground. The narrator explains warmly, a shadow is a dark shape made when an object blocks light. Light always travels in straight lines, and when something stands in its path, a shadow appears. Lumi giggles and waves at his long shadow. So you appear because I shine, he says. His shadow wiggles playfully. Lumi begins his journey by visiting the magical light fountain in the center of town. The fountain sprays sparkling beams of light instead of water, creating dancing patterns in the air. Beneath the fountain sits Professor Prism, a wise old prism-shaped character with shimmering rainbow edges. Professor Prism spends his days studying light, reflection, and refraction. Professor Prism, Lumi calls, I want to learn how shadows form. Professor Prism smiles kindly. Ah, Lumi, what a wonderful lesson to explore. Come closer, and I'll show you. With a soft swirl of rainbow sparkles, Professor Prism creates a magical mini-theater of glowing beams. The beams shoot out in straight lines like golden strings. First, the professor says, light travels in straight lines. It doesn't bend around corners or twist through objects. When light hits something solid, like a person, a tree, or even you, Lumi, a shadow forms behind it. To demonstrate, the professor places a small glowing sphere in front of the beam. Immediately, a crisp, round shadow forms behind it. Lumi gasps in delight. It's like magic, the narrator gently adds. It may look magical, but it's really science, the science of light and shadows. Lumi now wants to understand why shadows change size. So Professor Prism leads him to Shadow Hill, a tall hill where shadows stretch long and short, depending on where the sun shines. As Lumi floats along, playful animations show glowing arrows representing sunlight. When Lumi is close to the ground, his shadow grows long and stretchy, like a ribbon blowing in the wind. When he floats higher, the shadow becomes tiny and round. Why does that happen? Lumi asks. Professor Prism explains. When the light source is low, your shadow becomes long because the light is shining at an angle. But when the light is high above, the light shines down directly, making your shadow short. Lumi giggles and tries it himself, floating up, down, spinning around, making his shadow dance in silly shapes. The bright animation shows his shadow stretching and shrinking like a fun elastic toy. Next, they explore the magical forest of transparency. The trees here are made of different types of materials. Some are crystal clear like glass, others are cloudy like frosted windows, and some are completely solid like shiny metal. Professor Prism holds a glowing beam of light and demonstrates. Transparent objects, like clear glass trees, let most light pass through. Translucent objects, like foggy crystals, let some light through, creating blurry shadows. Opaque objects, like metal trees, block light completely, making dark shadows. Lumi experiments with each tree. Behind the clear glass tree, the shadow is almost invisible. Behind the cloudy tree, the shadow is soft and fuzzy. Behind the solid tree, the shadow is deep and dark. Lumi squeals, "That's so cool!" "Ditpos at neitai." The narrator laughs warmly. Light behaves differently depending on the material it touches. That's why shadows can be sharp, fuzzy, dark, or light. After a day full of discoveries, Lumi heads toward Glowville's Rainbow Bridge, where floating lights drift peacefully like lanterns in the wind. But suddenly, oh no! A giant cloud drifts over Glowville, blocking the sunlight. The entire town dims, and the citizens of Glowville gasp. "My shadow disappeared," Lumi says in surprise. Professor Prism nods. When there is no light, there can be no shadow. The visuals soften as Lumi and the professor float beneath the cloud. Everything feels calm and mysterious. Glowville grows quiet. Then, Lumi has an idea. If sunlight is blocked, maybe I can shine for Glowville. He floats high above the town and glows brighter and brighter until he becomes a warm, shining star of light. His glow spreads across Glowville, restoring brightness to every corner, every house, every sparkling cobblestone. The narrator beams. Lumi learned the most important lesson of all. Shadows are connected to light. When you understand light, you can create, shape, and even change shadows. Glowville celebrates with glowing lanterns, a parade of lights, and swirling beams that make beautiful animated patterns in the sky. Lumi floats proudly above the town. "Understanding shadows is like understanding magic," he says. "But it's really just light doing what light does best." Professor Prism joins him on the hill. "And now you know. Shadows are simply friends who follow you whenever light is shining." The camera pulls back, showing Glowville sparkling with warm colors and soft shadows dancing peacefully in the scene. Soft music plays. Lumi waves to the audience with one last glowing smile. Finally, the magical scene fades into the bright, friendly logo of Funimation 3D, SITS, Kids and Family Cartoon. And now, it's time for our cheerful outro message. Thanks for joining our adventure today. Don't forget like, share, and subscribe to see more magical science stories, amazing fairy tales, and fun animated videos. See you in the next episode.